In this video, we are going to continue modeling the accessories. I'm going to add some loops to add more details to the socks. I'm going to decrease the size of this loop to make these details. Selecting the loop and pressing S. Now I'm going to start adding some details to the chart. The same we did in the socks. I'm come back to correct some error of the chart. And was the error that I told you, but I'm thinking how I'm going to resolve this. Finally, I made it anyway, and then I correct the points manually. Here I'm going to correct this point too. Now I'm going to start making the t-shirt borders with extrude and pressing S. Now I'm going to make the border of the chart, and selecting this loop and Shift D and then P to have this in other object. Now I'm going to select this border to have a good mix or joint in the middle of the mirror, like this. Just move it, and this is going to get together, only moving to the middle. Now I apply the modifier, mirror modifier, because I want to draw the symmetry, because I want to make a cut here. If you select one edge and then press V, you will have a cut instantly in this edge. Now I'm just editing this geometry. This is going to be the belt. Now I'm starting to add in some loops in the border. I select everything pressing A and then E to make a Here I'm just adding more loops and then selecting the edges or faces and increasing the size with S to make these details. Now I'm going to add a loop in the middle and then more loops here vertically. I want to make a hole. Select a vertex and press right clicks and then bevel vertex to make a bevel in the vertex. It doesn't work like the normal way of making bevel with Ctrl B. For vertex is with right click and bevel vertex. Now I'm using the knife tool to make a cut and then press enter to apply the form and then delete the inner faces. I'm going to do the same to the back faces. First use the knife tool and then delete the faces. Now we are going to connect these two holes to close the spaces. So select the two edges and then right click and loop tool. You have to activate this add-on. You have to search the loop tool add-on in the Blender add-ons. This is part of Blender, so you don't have to download anything. Just activate the add-on. I delete this piece because I didn't like it. So this wasn't the belt. This was part of the short, so in the future I'm going to make a real belt, so this part is what not necessary. I selected some faces and then duplicate with Shift D and then P by selection to have these pieces apart to make this part of the chart to where the belt pass. When I'm finished, I added a solidify modifier and then use the thickness that you want. Now I'm going to duplicate these pieces and start positioning in the right place. Now I'm going to make the real belt, so I use the same base of the chart and then the same technique that is Shift D, then P and selection. And I'm going to continue editing the form and the vertex. I added a solidify modifier and modify the thickness. Just remember to edit the middle, just moving the edge. But finally I will delete the modifier because I want to make a cut here. So this is going to delete the symmetry. The cut is with V, short V. I'm adding a plane to make the buckle of the belt. Just remember to position the 3D cursor in the center with Shift S. You will have option to center the 3D cursor in the viewport. Now I'm making an inner extrude pressing I. And remember to apply the transform first, because if you don't, you will have an inner extrude a little weird. And for suggestion, don't copy all my steps because there is always mistake or error, so I come back and then redone a lot of things. So maybe first check out the videos, and then if you want, use it for the step-by-step process. I'm just editing the belt in reference with the bucket. Now I add extrude to all the shape, and then Ctrl 2 to subdivision modifier. I'm adding more loops to have a better shape. Maybe you can increase the subdivision modifier because some pieces with low poly, it doesn't work correctly, the subdivision. So maybe you have to put it to level 3. So now we have the bucket more smooth. I'm adding a plane to finish the bucket. Select the vertex, right click and bevel vertex for making a hole, and I'm going to move it back. I undo this because I want to make first an inner extrude to this face here, and then move this back to have a better round hole. Now I'm selecting these faces and Shift D and then P by selection to make the bracelet. This is the bracelet of the watch. I'm adding more loops and then select everything and extrude. I made the same but with one edge, one loop edge, duplicate it and then P to make other bracelet. This is only edges, but then I'm going to convert it to curves. First I'm trying to use another technique, but it didn't work like I wanted. So I'm going to go back. So I delete the modifier, the skin modifier. Go to object, convert curve from mesh. And this is going to make a curve of this edge. So now Now you can go here, and this is a curve editor, and here in depth and bevel you can increase the thickness of this, so it's more easy to make this technique. To edit the curve, you have to go to edit mode too, the same way to faces or polygon. And now I'm adding the shape for the watch. This is a cylinder. I put the 3D cursor here, but it's hidden in my viewer, so that's why you don't see it. Now I'm starting to edit the shape with inner extrude, moving the edges, the loops, adding more loops. I'm going to make the necklace. First I add this cylinder, but then I go back, this circle, I'm sorry, but then I go back and center the cursor, and then I'm going to make a curve, circle curve, because I wanted a curve instead of geometry, because we are going to add the bevel in the same way of the last pieces. Because with this technique we have more control to move the point and make more stylized curves, and it's more easy to modify. So here you just add some bevel and you will have the thickness of this curve. And to this curve you have to apply the transform too, because you could get some troubles. If you press right click, you have some option for the curves, and if you select 2 points and right click and subdivide, you will add a point in the middle. Now I add a sphere or round cube to add the detail of the necklace, the object. Now let's go to the chart, selecting these faces and duplicate with Shift D and then P by selection. Now we have these pieces in other object. Then I added extrude and add some loops to have a better result definition. Now I'm just adding more loops for definition of the shape. I'm just trying some forms to make this. Go to the sculpt mode if you want to edit the form with the grab tool. You can see that it's more easy to edit this form in the sculpt mode and not in the edition mode. And now I'm starting to make more loops to make these details. I go back to make the same to all the borders in one time. Now I'm going to make the details for the teacher, selecting this loop. You can make extrude here. And I'm correcting the shape. And I'm going to make the same for the border. I'm going to add a round cube. Change this part to have a sphere. This was for the earrings, but finally I deleted because I'm going to use the same heart for the earrings. I did a rematch to decrease the polygons and then duplicate the object, and then I'm going to add a mirror to this shape. I'm just adding some details to the hair, just for to check out the sense of the character, but remember that this hair is not going to be the final hair. This is just for make to have a better sense of the character. I'm going to correct this error. I'm just moved the edges and the error was done. And we are getting to the end of this video, so I see you in the next.